Welcome to the post-lunch sessions of the ICA Weekend 2025. And we have a very interesting session coming up currently, but it's also incumbent on the moderator and the panelists to keep you awake. But I'm sure they will not have a problem with it. The discussion itself will will be able to do that. To moderate the panel on Steeped in Heritage, India's Culture of Ghee, may I call up on stage Vijay Pratap Singh Aditya, founder of Ekgaon. Vijay is the moderator for this session. Vijay and his social enterprise Ekgaon Technologies are creating technology platforms to provide financial, health and agriculture services to rural customers. As more and more companies compete for the bottom of the pyramid markets in rural India, Vijay's enterprise and vision are transforming the way rural producers compete in increasingly globalized markets. I don't think we could have got a better moderator for this session, which talks about which places ghee in the Indian culture, the way we use it, and also maybe in the ways that we don't or we cannot. Vijay, over to you.
Thank you, Tanu. It is a great pleasure to moderate this session because the topic is very interesting and the panel is simply stellar. We have such a diverse panel from culinary experts to people with a knowledge of food culture and then technical understanding ghee, because I had a very fantastic discussion with Rituraj. Let me start with him only on the ghee and its myths and mysteries and the scientific evidence behind that. So request Rituraj Pundeer is founder of Deradun. Deradun is a dairy startup based in Deradun, in Uttarakhand. He comes from, which is also his homeland, and I came to know that he comes from a very established family from the region, having migrated 450 or something years back there. And he's been working on sustainable agriculture ecosystems and trained himself in dairy technology from the NDRI, National Dairy Development Institute, and developed a great understanding of technology as well as understanding production systems around dairy to build a very unique brand, a ghee that some of you might have tasted, which outside with our food, so which is his brand. That is something which he has been doing and looking at multiple aspects of dairy value chain, eventually to create what he was telling me, to create a very direct relationship with the customers. And he want to empower farmers and wants to, like he said, he wants to do something in his state, in his place where he lives. Thank you so much, Rituraj. Next is Dr. Manjit Gill, chef. We all know him so well. He is a legend. He has put Indian food on global map and in front of global presidents and prime ministers and ministers and everybody else across the world. He was a former corporate chef at ITC and was behind the famous legendary Bukhara and many other successful restaurants. I'm not aware of all of them. I'm aware of Bukhara, where I have been trying to take my family, till now not happened. He's written multiple books, multiple honors among world chefs. He's been chairman of World Chef Committee on Cultural Heritage and Ethnic Cuisine. We were just talking, and he was talking about the great initiative that Indian Council of Cultural Research is trying to look into, coming up with its own accreditation system called Annapurna for Indian restaurants. That's a very interesting thing. We'd like to hear more about that. Yeah, for outside India. Yeah, that's not for within India. He's been given the Lifetime Achievement Award from Indian Ministry of Tourism in 2007, and the prestigious Escoffier Medal for Culinary Commitment and High Standard Culinary Arts by the World Chefs in 2018. He's co-curator of Chef Manifesto, UN SDG 22, and World Chef Ambassador Cultural Culinary Heritage Committee. Tongue twister there. Thank you, Mr. Gill. And then last, and I've been very eager to meet him in person, and and have heard so much about is Shahu Patole. He's an author of Dalit Foods. He has looked into area of food about community in which much talk has not been done. So he has looked into documentation of that and come up with this fantastic book. If I pronounce it correctly, it was originally in Marathi, Anna He Apurna Brahma. That was the name of the book. Apurna Brahma. Apurna Brahma. Okay, good, thanks. Which is a first ever documentation of Dalit food history and culinary practice of two Maharashtrian communities called Mahar and Mang. As it is more fashioned like a memoir and recipes, a book of recipes, and it explores the politics of maintaining social divisions along the food lines and caste-based discrimination, which is also there from an idea of how to divide food as sattvic, or which means pure, and then rasik, which is like for the royal, and what is tamasic, which is sinful food. So the food could also be sinful in one way. And his book has been translated into many languages, and we are very honored that he is among us. So great diversity, and I'm looking forward to having a very informed and knowledgeable discussion, at least for me, and I'm sure for the audience. Thank you. So I wanted to start this panel because we're talking about ghee. So ghee means has a lot of important value for many people. I can tell you about my father was diagnosed with heart disease, and so he was asked to stop all oils, but the only oil that he will refuse to not stop using is ghee. And my father-in-law has the same heart disease now, and he refuses to stop using ghee. So ghee is that kind of so much entrenched in our daily food habits for many of our families, and it is very unique to India. I'd like to start with Mr. Gill. On when we talk about, and that would be your initiation to also talk about your work and everything. When we talk about ghee as such, what is that unique aspect that since you've worked globally and on food, and what is that distinguishes itself from other forms of oils that are available from a food perspective, and what kind of uses you have put ghee to, especially in Indian cuisine, or if you have tried with other cuisine as well?
Ghee is it's like it's our DNA. We cannot live without ghee. It's all over India. Usage may be differently done, but it is used in some way. And the sad part just happened in between, that we started calling ghee desi ghee. It should be ghee. And further the damage happened when we started calling it clarified butter. That is the worst thing which we have done. And for many other food items which we translate into English, it become a different meaning. And that is what bring our, or the reports came from all over the world, it's not good, because clarified butter is not good. Ghee is good. So that's to start with. And we always use ghee. I brought up being a farmer's family, but lived in Delhi for long. But we were eating ghee even, if there's nothing, just a little ghee in the katori with salt, pepper, chili, and just eat a roti with that, and good enough. And ghee, is so tasty. It gives you, tripti, it gives you shanti when you eat it. But no doubt, any good thing, it has to be consumed in moderation. So nothing in excess is good, but in moderation is fantastic. And the ghee, which I know, I'm not a scientist, I'm only a cook. I only have a cooking experience. Ghee is, I think, is the only fat and oil which is, after absorption, it does alkaline effect to the body. The rest all are more acidic. And we need our body to be alkaline. so that some toxins can be, body can handle them. So ghee has a lot of advantages for the health purpose, and no doubt, ultimately the food becomes very tasty with this. And with my experience, I think if I have to use a, which oils people think is very good, maybe refined oil and all that, where you use 2-3 spoons of refined oil, 1 teaspoon of ghee will prepare a final dish will be more tastier, more satisfying, and even other flavors will also, it will enhance. So that's in short, I just.
So one question that I had, and please reflect on it a little more, was that many times, at least in some families, not all, ghee is not supposed to be used in some dishes. Like in my family, they don't use ghee in meat preparations or anything to do with meat for some reasons.
I think there is no taboo or a belief like that. It is availability of the local product. And like in North, ghee is mostly used in the cooking. In South, you go, ghee is most used for the topping. But the cooking they don't do in ghee. So like that, in the East, you go, is a mustard oil is more. In the West is more groundnut oil or peanut oil or mustard oil. But ghee is used a lot, in the toppings of that. So, but there are few combinations. That's the cooking skills and the cooking and the climatic things also. There are few vegetables, few dishes goes very well when you cook into a mustard oil. It gives a different variation, different taste, different flavor. So like that. So there are few like Karelas, like in North, I know more about. Karela is made in mustard oil more. Methi aloo is more good in mustard oil. Even Kala Chana tastes very good in mustard oil. But many traditional classical dishes in Bihar or in the East and even on the Assam and Meghalaya and all that, they all use cooking with the meats also done with the mustard oil. The champarang meat, which is very quite popular now from Bihar, traditionally it is cooked in mustard oil only. Now also people cook in mustard oil, but somebody who doesn't like that flavor, maybe cook in a ghee, but it's a mustard oil. And I personally love, I don't like to smoke mustard oil and then cook. I love to cook as normal oils are cooked. It gives much more. You might have to adjust other pungencies because that pungency will go high. So you have to balance the food. So I don't think there is any restriction or a taboo that we should not eat or we should eat. You eat what you like and how preparation you do, how you then balance it, the flavors and the taste.
One question on ghee is quintessential Indian. It has been found in Indian subcontinent and it is only used here the way it is used. Have you seen people, chefs and yourself experimenting on using ghee in international preparations, international dishes preparations and others?
No. Because that international food, majority, other than wherever countries has a more olive oil, they do in olive oil, but cooking style, cooking skills are different. You cannot cook with olive oil in an Indian style, in our style of traditional cooking. But if you cook your food or find your dishes the way they cook, then olive oil is good as a variation, you should do it. But the rest of the countries where food is more popular for the Western world, like France and or other countries, they have a lot of use the butter with them, butter. And many people, they do clarify butter also. But they do in the butter. But maybe with their herbs and their spices, which are very mild and very subtle, maybe that goes, maybe ghee overpower them. So still it is not, we have not tried, but I have experienced that we were cooking in Singapore, there was some chef from San Francisco also, and he came to me and he asked me, you have mustard oil? I said, yes. He said, I just want to rub it on the lamb before roasting. And like this ghee also, some people have started understanding and started using it. And I'm sure the time will come, recipes will be a little bit twisted, altered, and ghee will take that place, will come into their cooking. definitely, because it's good for health.
Great, sir. I'll come to Rituraj. We discussed last time when we were talking about the panel on many aspects of ghee, especially the quality aspect of it and how to determine the quality. There are many types of preparations. The way the ghee is prepared, there are many methods of preparing it, and there are some popular methods, and there are certain methods where lot of adjectives have been added. Vedic preparation has been added and non-Vedic preparation has been added and everything. So I'll request Ritu to please tell us something more about these, as well as a little bit about yourself and your work related to dairy.
So about me, probably you've described more than I deserve. So nice of you, and great to be here, privileged. I'll straight away jump to the point, and probably people are here for that, not for me. So ghee preparation is basically when you take a milk fat and then ghee is basically milk fat. So ghee is prepared by two methods: either heating up the cream straight away, or you make it go through fermentation, and that is the core difference between a good ghee and a bad ghee. So what happens is, so there are two methods to prepare ghee. First, you take the milk, and that is how it is happening in the 80% of the market. So the milk reaches the milk plant, it gets separated through a cream separated. Centrifugal force is applied to it, cream goes to different line, milk goes to different line. Then according to the need, जो आप लोग use करते हैं, the ones that we use double toned and full cream, according to those need, it is mixed again into the milk, and then it is supplied to the market after homogenization. Now the leftover cream is then passed through CBM. It's called continuously butter making machine. So it agitates the butter, agitates the cream, makes it into butter, and straight away it goes to the boiler where it is made. Now that is what India is consuming at the approximately 80-85%. So that is the huge market. That is why you get the ghee at such discounted price also. Now it is also prepared by butter oil, which is imported in heavy quantity from the European countries as well as China. Then the second method, now why don't these big companies use that traditional Bologna method, is the question of time. Now what is happening is we do not have time. Time is money. According to a lot of companies, they calculate their time. So the CBM would take around 3 hours. Bologna method would take somewhere around 12 to 24 hours. Now that holding capacity they do not have. If they hold that capacity, they will lack it. So the correct method of making ghee is to actually culture it for at least 24 hours. Let the lactobacillus take the action and break it down into smaller, simpler fats. So the lactose is broken down into lactic acid, and other fat molecule globules that are this big are broken down into small ones. And that is how the ghee becomes ghee. And that is how it attains the natural aroma that Nani Dadi wala ghee. So that is how it is done.
So thanks. So one of the things that we wanted to do also was and Rituraj is there for that, is to broke some myths around ghee. This particular ghee is, superb, and so it has so many qualities and so much thing, and I want to use that word.
Don't go into A1, A2.
So he has used, I'm not using. So tell us the difference between that, because that is a question which ignited the room last year. So we want to talk about that, because there's a lot of, there what you call as the reason why we are talking about is that there's a lot of good stuff we have, very, very good quality stuff we have, but we sometimes love to create a more mystical and more mythical thing around it than it actually is. So you are exaggerating it to levels which we should not do, and somebody else is making fun and money out of it. So that one thing I'm going to bother you about.
I never wanted to discuss it on a public forum. You can sit with me in a room, and probably I'll go gaga about it. दिक्कत ये हो जाती है ना मंजीत जी, that I hurt a lot of people's feeling, which I don't want to do.
I already did it last time, so over to you.
All right, I'll join the party then. So I'll be straight away to the camera. I'll look into it and I'll say A2 is a scam. As simple as that I can put it. So A1, A2 are the two types of protein that are found in different breeds of cows. So it is basically the beta casein form of the 63rd strand. वो जाके कहीं BCM7 में बदल जाता है when it gets digested. A1 वाला, A2 वाला नहीं बदलता है. So BCM7 is somehow related in some study towards inflammation and carcinoma, somehow in some study, which has remotely been studied into the direct transformation from milk beta casein. So it's just the factor of that small protein. 3% protein is there in the whole milk. Out of those 3%, only 3% is beta casein. So 3% of a 3%. Can you imagine how small a quantity it is? And उसके ऊपर बहस चल रही है. अब एक और मिथ है, चलो दूध में एक बार को आर्ग्यू कर लेते हैं, लेट्स आर्ग्यू ऑन मिल्क. बट इन घी 99.5% is fat, 0.02% is protein. And now we're discussing about 0.02% of protein that is in milk, not in ghee. And if you prepare it nice and if you separate it nice, there is no protein in ghee. You turn around a ghee label, you won't find protein in it. Why are we discussing it? So any big company, if it claims to be A2, it can have a brand name of A2. It cannot claim that it has A2 beta carotene. Their milk might have it, their ghee does not have it. So that is the myth that I wanted to break, and you now most of the people running with this brand would get affected.
I had a discussion pre-panel preparation with Ritu, and he explained me exactly the way it explained. So I said that this needs to come out in public forum, because this is a very important point that we need to kind of come from a breaking the myth point of view, which is very, very important. It is a very interesting and very culturally relevant. Ghee is a very culturally relevant for all of us. We, on our families, everybody loves to. My little girl, 3 years old, her mother ensures that everything that she eats is in ghee. So that's close. That is so close. We are culturally ghee to it, but we then need to break some myths. That's essential, because otherwise we are, pushing people into adopting things which are not really real. So I'll take a break from you, and Shahu ji ke paas ja rahe hain. For the other people, I'll translate what Shahu ji will say. He will speak in Hindi. Shahu ji, जो हम मिथ की बात करते हैं, आपने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है डॉक्यूमेंटेशन ऑफ दलित फूड्स, और कम्युनिटी के कुछ कम्युनिटीज़ के जो अपने फूड होते हैं, उनकी अपनी फूड हैबिट्स होती हैं, उसमें घी के ऊपर जो टैबू बोलिए या जो भी कल्चरली अलग करके रखा हुआ है कि नहीं, ये आपको हम कंज्यूम नहीं करने देंगे, सोशली, इकोनॉमिकली एंड इन अदर वे, कई सारे उसके अराउंड बाउंडेशंस बना के रखे ताकि कि घी एक तरह का वो बन जाए कि हम बहुत प्रिविलेज्ड, एज अ प्रिविलेज फूड बन जाए. तो उसके ऊपर आपने क्या देखा, क्या पढ़ा, और क्या उसका रिप्लेसमेंट है अगर कम्युनिटी को अलाउड नहीं है, सेंचुरीज से अलाउड नहीं है घी को यूज़ करना, तो उसके अराउंड क्या आपने देखा कि कम्युनिटी किस तरह से उसको रिप्लेस करती है?
मैं धन्यवाद, आपने मुझे यहाँ पे बुलाया पहले बात तो, क्योंकि घी से हमारा कोई ताल्लुक ही नहीं था, क्योंकि घी खाने की अनुमति नहीं थी. मैं एक बुक यहाँ पे, एक्चुअली इंग्लिश में भी है, ये मूल इंग्लिश में ही है, इनहेलेशन ऑफ कास्ट अम्बेडकर जी की. तो उसमें एक उदाहरण है, टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया की न्यूज़ थी 1 अप्रैल 1936 की, राजस्थान से कोई एक बंदा, दलित बंदा चला गया कुंभ जैसे किसी यात्रा में, वापस आया, उसने अपने जात के लोगों को पंगत दी, पंगत समझते ना, खाना खिलाया, उसमें उसने घी परोसा. तो गांव वालों को पता चला कि ये लोग घी खा रहे हैं, तो उनको आके बहुत मारा, उन लोगों को भगा दिया कि ये आप हमारा अपमान कर रहे हैं कि आप घी कैसे खा सकते हैं. उस बंदे के पास शायद पैसे हो गए, पैसे होने से कुछ नहीं होता है. आपको क्या खाना है, क्या नहीं खाना है, ये किसी ने आपको परंपरा से बताया हुआ है कि आप यही चीज़ खाएंगे. खाने का कोई चॉइस नहीं दिया है. सात्विक कहते हैं कि सात्विक खाएंगे तो आपकी वृत्तियाँ ऐसी बनेगी, राजस खाएंगे तो अब ऐसी वृत्ति आपकी बनेगी. लेकिन किसी ने भी हम लोगों को सात्विक खाने के लिए भी कोई पर्याय नहीं दिया है। किसी भी लैब में टेस्ट नहीं किया कि क्या खिलाने के बाद में कैसी वृत्ति बनती है। एक तो आज भी मैं घी नहीं खाता हूँ, मुझे घी का बास आने से उल्टी आती है। अब मैं झूठ नहीं बोलता हूँ, आपको अतिशयोक्ति नहीं है। ऐसे कई लोग, क्योंकि घी हमारे खाने में कभी था ही नहीं, शादी बेरी भी नहीं थी। बेरी जानते हैं आप? देसी घी बनाने के बाद में नीचे काला सा पदार्थ रहता है, उसको हम बेरी कहते हैं। तो वो भी कभी खाने को नहीं मिली है। 90 अप टू, मतलब मैं बहुत पुरानी बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, 1972 तक की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, जब मेरी बुक 72 और 72 दो पार्ट में बुक है मेरी। तो घी था ही नहीं, घी आएगा कहाँ से? जानवर नहीं पाल सकते थे क्योंकि खेती नहीं है। हाँ, बटर मिल्क, एक तो घी को हम लोग तूप कहते हैं, तूप। और मराठी में दूसरी बात ऐसी है कि हम लोग मेरे उच्चवर्णीय मित्रों को, पर्टिकुलर ब्राह्मण मित्रों को चिढ़ाए भी थे, आनो से तुम खाया क्या बोल के, तुम खल्लस का। घी कर से गालियाँ भी है, मतलब तू घी खाने वाला क्या कहते हैं उसको, लल्लू पंजू होता है, मतलब ये भी है, गाली तक है उसमें। सेकंड थिंग कि अगर आपको बटर, घी की तो बात छोड़ दीजिए, तेल ही नहीं था खाने में। इसलिए मेरे जितने भी ट्रेडिशनली मेरी रेसिपीज दी है मैंने, आपने तो पढ़ा ही है, उसमें मूंगफली का क्रश है लेकिन तेल नहीं है। और जो हमारा जो ट्रेडिशनल मीट हम खाते थे, बीफ या बफ हो, उसमें कहीं तेल यूज ही नहीं करते। सॉलिड फैट जो है डायफ्राम का जो निकाल के हम रख देते थे, उसको सुखा के रखना है और उसी को एज अ तेल यूज़ करना है। और संस्कृत में फैट को ही तूप कहा गया है। संस्कृत में जो फैट होता है उसको तूप कहा गया है। इट मीन्स, देखिए आप भी जो ईजाद हुआ तूप है, इसका हिस्ट्री ईसा पूर्व 500 से 1500 के पीछे नहीं जाता है। आज भी रशियन कॉन्टिनेंटल हो या फिर यूरोपियन कॉन्टिनेंटल हो, तो वहाँ आज भी वो फैट यूज़ किया जाता है। यूट्यूब पर जब सर्च किया पता चला कि यार हम जो खाते थे वही और भी कुछ लोग खा रहे हैं। और डायफ्राम जो है उसको आके रखो उसको, और उसके टुकड़े डालो। हम लोग जो मीट बनाते हैं, बीफ या बफ बनाते थे, उसमें सिर्फ उसको पकाना है, उसको तेल डालने की बिल्कुल ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती है। और डालना है तो भी वही टुकड़े ले लो, उसको एक मराठी में या उर्दू या पर्शियन में एक चुनचुने, आज भी वो खाटी लेडी आती है मुस्लिम बेचने के लिए, चुनचुने क्या चुनचुने, वो जो सॉलिड फैट है उसको आप कढ़ाई में डाल दो, आग लगा दो, उसको अपने बाद तेल छूटना शुरू होता है, वही घी होता है। और वो ऊपर वाला जो है वो मूंगफली से निकाल दो, बाजू को रखो। तो वो होने के बाद में अगर आप 2 बर्नियों में वो जो निकाला हुआ तूप है, जो सीधा निकाला गया है, परमानेंट, मतलब उसको प्रोसेस नहीं किया है, दोनों में कुछ भी फर्क नहीं आता है। उल्टा जो नहीं खाने वाला होता है वो भी खा लेगा, इतनी अच्छी स्मेल आती है उसकी। मैं मजाक और झूठ नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, आज घी की बात चल रही है यहाँ पे। ये तो एक घी। और दूसरी बात बटर मिल्क की बात करता हूँ। हम लोगों को बड़े जानवर नहीं थे और हर चीज़ का घी बनता है। बकरी का भी देखा है मैंने, भेड़ का भी दूध का बनता है, ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं बनता है। लेकिन हम लोग बोलते थे कि अगर हम दूध निकाल लेंगे बकरी का तो उसके बच्चे क्या खाएंगे, उसके बच्चे क्या पिएंगे। तो बटर मिल्क के लिए अगर हफ्ते में एक बार किसी उच्चवर्णीय के घर में घी बन रहा है, तो बटर मिल्क के लिए भी हम लोगों से शोषण किया जाता था। इतनी सारा घास डालो तब आपको मिट्टी का एक आधा छोटा सा घड़ा भर के घी बटर मिलता था। उसके सिवा फ्री में कभी नहीं बटा है वो, उसके लिए भी शोषण होता था। इसके लिए मराठी में कहावत है, आज भी कहावत है वो, ताकाला जाताना मोरवा आड़ करू नका। मोरवा मीन्स मिट्टी का घड़ा जो है, अगर आपको बाड़े में जाकर के मांग के लाना है बटर मिल्क, तो वो छुपाओ मत। मतलब अपनी इज्जत की, हम वहाँ पे नहीं जाते हैं, लेकिन आप अंधेरे में जाके छुपाओ मत, उसको लेके आओ। मतलब उस पर से कई सारे फ्रेजेस भी है उसको ऊपर से। तो ये अवस्था थी। और शायद मेरे पीढ़ी का कई लोग हैं आज भी, पैसा है लेकिन हम घी नहीं हजम कर सकते उसके स्मेल से। सेम थिंग मैं थोड़ा सा आगे जाकर बताता हूँ। मैं 3 साल नागालैंड में था। मैं नॉर्थ ईस्ट में आज भी कई लोगों को दूध का स्मेल भी नहीं सहन होता है। नई पीढ़ी खा रही है आज भी, आज की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं। और मुझे इतना अच्छा लगा, मैंने पूछा वहाँ पे मेरे कलीग से, तो बोले कि उन्होंने कहा कि हम लोग मांस खाते हैं काट के इसका, लेकिन एक मेरी कलीग ने कहा कि जैसा मेरा दूध मेरे बच्चे के लिए है वैसा ही उसका दूध उसके बच्चे के लिए है, तो दूध निकाले क्यों। इसलिए घी की बात चल रही है, तो घी एक शोषण का भी प्रतीक था, और दूसरी बात घी जो है वो प्रतिष्ठा का भी लक्षण था। मतलब अगर आपके पास आप घी खाते हैं तो आप बहुत अच्छे क्लास में, जैसे कि जमींदार है, आपके पास खेती बाड़ी है, और अगर मेरे कास्ट का कोई खाता है तो उसको लताड़ पड़ती थी, इसलिए कि ये हमारी बराबरी कर रहा है। जैसे अभी अभी आपने एक न्यूज़ सुनी होगी, कई बार उत्तर भारत से ही आती है वो पर्टिकुलर ऐसी न्यूज़ है कि दलित दूल्हा घोड़ी पर नहीं चढ़ सकता, जैसे कि किसी की घोड़ी कोई रिश्तेदार है ना। तो वही वाली चीज़ है, मेरे पास पैसा है लेकिन मैं घी नहीं खा सकता। आजकल वो थोड़ा ट्रेंड अभी नहीं हुआ है वो, लेकिन घी हमारे खाने में, तेल ही नहीं था तो घी कहाँ से आएगा। 16 उत्सव आते, सन आते थे, उस वक्त अनाज दे दो और किराना दुकान से छोटी शीशी भर के तेल लेके आओ, उतना ही तेल था। तेल भी हमारे खाने में नहीं था, और घी की तो बहुत दूर की बात है। तो मैंने अपनी बात रख दी, और घी को अपने यहाँ भारत की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, आप क्या खाते हैं इससे आपका सामाजिक स्तर भी उतना तय होता है। यहाँ खाने को, कपड़ों को, भाषा को, सभी चीज़ों को जात से और वर्ण से जोड़ा गया है, जैसे वैसे घी को भी वहाँ जोड़ा गया है।
Thank you. A very interesting context which was added by Shahu ji, that culturally it has been, ghee has kind of become a social, stature, gives a social stature to a community who uses it, practices it, and even denies it to other communities in that sense. Now with changing time, we are looking at ghee in a very, very different way. Ritu just mentioned few different types of ghee, which are the common market things. But then there is a new language being reinvented. We have vegan ghee, which has come. Then we have ghee from different animal source, which is like goat ghee, and then donkey ghee, and then camel ghee, and there's a range of other bovine animals which are there. Ghee from them is there. I saw in Uttarakhand, one of the government install, they have a ghee derived from, I forgot the name of the tree, but in one of the stores in Deradun, they sell this ghee derived from a nut that is found in Uttarakhand by the forest department, which is in that main market. There is a shop. So this is a ghee derived from some sort of हाँ शायद महुआ का भी हो सकता, महुआ का भी सुना है. That is also one of these things. So the ghee coming from different sources also, which is coming, all are being called ghee now because that's what a generic thing. Then we all have come through a generations, our parents at least, called Vanaspati ghee, which was called popularized by a company called Dalda, which essentially, now Dalda and Vanaspati ghee are kind of co-lingual in that sense. Then another thing which is coming up is the flavoring of ghee, which is many types of flavoring of the ghee. Mr. Gill, have you tried or come across the idea of using different types of ghee, including flavored ghee for different dishes or anything to do with that?
First, I very strongly believe that ghee has to be from dairy. If now any other ghee which is from the plants or from wherever it is created, at least it should not be called ghee. It's a misinterpretation and they're misleading the people.
Thank you so much.
If they
Thank you so much for saying
if they believe that the ghee can be taken out from the plant, then they must call something else. Why they call it ghee? So that is one. And what I believe is, with my understanding of the ghee, that ghee is definitely from the cow and buffalo. Let's not get into A1, A2 and all that. I think he explained very well. They are all brands to sell or to charge more. Now cow and buffalo ghee, but I believe the type of ghee is north, south, east, west. The ghee is different in north. its characteristics are different. Not calorific values are same. It doesn't change. Even much, it doesn't change much in uh, cow or buffalo ghee also. Products may be different. It might come out differently. Like if you make chana from the milk also, cow buffalo milk also you can make, but it will be a little more harder. It will not be as soft as the cow milk chana will be. So that difference can be there, but calorific value is no different. They're all same. So same way the characteristics are different from north, south, east, west in a larger perspective. Uh, there are some ghee like north has a danedar ghee also. Now danedar ghee is a process which makes it danedar, you know, which is little cumbersome, and the because we have to churn it through the of the curd and then take out the butter as less moisture as possible come out, and then slowly you do it and it takes that texture. And danedar, because we do cooking and all that more in the north, is little more very nice mouth feel on the palate of that, you know. So that's why it is good, considered to be a, you know, tasty or good. In southwest and all there, they are different in the color because cows are different, environment is different, feed is different, water is different, and like that they, and little process is different, you know. With that, like in the, if you go in the east, there he is little more golden and brownish. It's little caramelized or that smoky flavor it has very little bit. So like that, tastes are different. For me, they are the different types of ghee. There is no other types of ghee. Yeah, fortifications are done. And I remember your National Institute of Karnal, also I think about 20 years back, they created Arjun ghee, with the Arjun bark is done. You know, I don't know how much it is in the market, it's not there or is there, I don't know. So some variations are created, but types of ghee are only cow or buffalo, further north, south, east, west. That's what I strongly believe. And that's what, otherwise he can tell you much more better technically. I can only talk as a cook. I don't get into the, you know, I understand science, but I have no authority to speak.
Ritu wanted to
I
add
can,
something.
definitely speak about it, but when it comes to pleasing, you would be able to better please people through your cooking. I can definitely speak about it. So flavoring of ghee was the question and the point of discussion. So flavoring of ghee, yes, people are coming up with different kind of products like oregano ghee and I don't know, ginger garlic ghee and all that stuff is coming up. But it is just a method of selling ghee. It won't ever gain the attention of a mass market. When it comes to different kind of ghee, which Manjit was telling about, all the dimensions of India would produce different kind of ghee. It is only because of the crop and the feed that is found there. One of the panelists in the earlier panel who was, I suppose, soya companies something. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name. She was saying that nobody could replicate Amul butter. It is because it is produced in a certain manner. Amul is an 80,000 crore company. They will never risk to add any flavors to it. Would they? No. You cannot replicate it because it is found in Kutch region only. They collect from a specific set of farmers. They process it in a certain way. It is only made in Banaskantha dairy plant. There is a whole documentary about it on Nat Geo. Go watch it. So every different parts of India would have different taste palette. But moreover, it is ghee with the same calorific value and probably the importance. Yes, the taste would change just like West Bengal. They use overcooked ghee. And a brand called Jharna is actually producing it. Overcooked ghee, जब वो बैठता है नीचे, it becomes black. People are savoring it. It produces a lot of aroma. Yeah, it's great flavor. I took the advantage of marketing that. I mistakenly burned one batch of it, and I and I actually marketed it as Bengali ghee. People want it; they loved it. And till the time it fetches money, I'm happy with it. So yeah, that is the part of it. And yes, Ghee Arjuna was something that when I went to India, I was also introduced. They still give out that license. So they have patented it, Ghee Arjuna. So in a certain quantity, you mix Arjun bark into the melting butter. So it attains that I'm forgetting the chemical composition of it. So it helps in nerve blockage opening. Yeah, blood pressure and nerve blockage opening. So that is yes. So that is but there are different types of ghee. But what traditionally is made, मतलब जो चलता आ रहा है वो बहुत ज़्यादा चेंज नहीं होने वाला है until unless mass market accepts it.
थैंक यू। शाहू जी, ये जब हम घी की बात करते हैं, अब कम्युनिटीज़ का खाना बदल रहा है, टाइम के साथ खाना बदल रहा है, कई सारी नई नई चीज़ें कम्युनिटीज़ अडॉप्ट कर रही हैं, रूरल में उतना नहीं हो रहा है तो शहरों में हो रहा है। तो आपने जो ट्रांजिशन देखा है ओवर ए पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, अब जैसे आप खुद कह रहे हैं कि आपको घी पसंद नहीं है, आप दूसरी चीज़ें पसंद करते हैं, तो क्या अडॉप्शन हो रहा है फ़ैट के, मतलब जो भी एज अ फैट और अ घी और ऑयल जो हम यूज़ करना चाहते हैं, क्या फूड में वो चेंजेस आ रहे हैं? दलित कम्युनिटी या दूसरी ट्राइबल कम्युनिटीज़ को, आपने नागालैंड में भी रहे हैं, तो वो चेंजेस आ रहे हैं कि वो एक ही सोर्स का ऑयल यूज़ करने की जगह मल्टीपल ऑयल टाइप यूज़ कर रहे हैं, अलग अलग तरह के?
एक तो इनके साथ मैं एक शेयर करना चाहता हूँ। इन्होंने कहा कि वो दानेदार कहा, हमारे उसको बोलते रवा, तो रवा होता है ना वैसे रवा। उस हमारे यहाँ पे 3 फ्लेवर्स ट्रेडिशनली मुझे पता है। एक होता है वो बटर उबालने के बाद में उसमें राख जो होती है ना, राख का ढेपसा बोलते हैं हम, राख जो गोबर की जलाने के बाद में राख बनती है, तो ऐसे वो एक थोड़ा पानी डाल के एक पतले कपड़े में डाल के उस पर से ऐसा निचोड़ के डाल देते हैं और ढक देते हैं। एक तो वो फ्लेवर होता है, एक फ्लेवर होता है। हाँ। दूसरा और एक होता है कि तुलसी के पत्ते डालते हैं, थोड़ा भिगो के उसको निचोड़ के डाल के ढक देते हैं। और तीसरा होता है करी पत्ता जो होता है। 3 फ्लेवर तो मैं जानता हूँ, ये 3 फ्लेवर। तो ये तो मतलब ये 3 फ्लेवर हमारे यहाँ पे आज भी बनते हैं, घरों में जो घी बनता है। भैंस का जो बनता है घी वो सफ़ेद होता है और गाय का हल्का पीला होता है। हाँ, लेकिन आजकल भैंस का भी जो घी है वो गाय का बन जाता है।
हल्दी,
हाँ,
टर्मरिक,
वो कुछ टर्मरिक या फिर केसर का एक काढ़ी डाल दो तो, और भी हमारी गाय बहुत अच्छा खाना घास खा लेती है तो पीला हो जाता है। तो ये ट्रेडिशन तो हर जगह चल रही है। और सेकंड थिंग, आजकल हर घर में तो घी नहीं बनता है, क्योंकि दूध पहले डेयरी को जाएगा और फिर दुकान में से दूध लाके चाय बना के बच्चों को पिलाते हैं। ये बहुत गंदा ट्रेडिशन गाँव में आ चुका है। मतलब घर का दूध बेच के फिर दुकान से दूध लाके चाय बना रहे, बच्चों को खिला रहे हैं। 72 तक तो नॉर्दर्न कर्नाटका, जहाँ अकाल पड़ा था बहुत सारा, नॉर्दर्न कर्नाटका, तेलंगाना, देन मराठवाड़ा, इस रीजन में तेल हमारा, देखिए सब कास्ट का खाना एक जैसा ही है, कोई फ़र्क नहीं है। वो किस घर में पक रहा है उसके बाद में छूत-अछूत बन जाता है वो, है ना। खाना तो सेम ही है, पानी भी ज़मीन का वही है, सब्जियां वही है, सब कुछ है, खाना तो वहीं से आ रहा है, सिर्फ वो किस घर में बन रहा है वहीं से छुआछूत शुरू हो जाती है। और तेल का जो है मूंगफली, आई थिंक तेल जिसे कहते हैं ना हम लोग, तिल से निकलता था उसको तेल कहते हैं संस्कृत में भी। अब हम सबको तेल बोल देते हैं, जो तिल से बनता था वही तेल था, तिल ही एक था। उसके बाद में फिर शायद मराठवाड़ा की, हम रीजन की बात कर रहा हूँ, मतलब कर्नाटक और महाराष्ट्र के बॉर्डर की। उसके बाद में मूंगफली 200 साल पहले आई है, उसने तिल को पीछे छोड़ दिया। उसके बाद 1970 के करीब एक सूर्यफूल, सनफ्लावर आ गया। उसके बाद एक तिल हमारे पे तेल आ गया। उसके बाद में अभी सोयाबीन ने सबको पीछे हटा दिया है, क्योंकि वो बहुत इजी है, 3 महीने में आता है, उसको कुछ करना नहीं है। मूंगफली को उकारो, फिर उसको निकालो, उसको भी फोड़ो, फिर करो, बहुत कष्ट का काम था, लेबर नहीं मिल रहा है। तो अभी सोयाबीन ने सबको पीछे हटा दिया। और एक था करडी हमारे यहाँ पे, सैफ्लावर, हाँ, वो कांटेदार होता है वो। आजकल लोग ज़्यादा वो नहीं ले रहे हैं, लेकिन किसी डॉक्टर ने 10 साल पहले लिखा किसी ने कि ये तेल खाने से हार्ट के लिए बहुत अच्छा होता है, सैफ्लावर। सफोला जो एक ब्रांड आ रहा है ना, तो वो जो है कांटेदार एक इतना पेड़ आता है, कांटे होता है उसमें। नो 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 नो, वो एरंडी वो अलग है। मैं सफोला ब्रांड है उसकी बात कर रहा हूँ मैं। किसी ने लिख दिया वो उसको जानवर में नहीं मुंह लगाता है, उसको पीले और फूल आते हैं, उस पूरे कांटे होते हैं उसमें, उसको ऊपर जाता है उसमें और सफ़ेद कलर का निकलता है, करडी बोलते हैं उसको, करडई मराठी में, करडई। उसका जब ताज़ा होता है तो दूध निकाल के भी चावल उसका खिचड़ा बना खाते हैं। तो वो जो तेल है वो उसकी कच्चे पत्ते भी सब्जी बन के खाती है। और ये करडई जो है एक 15-20 साल पहले की बात है, किसी ने लिख दिया कि वो हार्ट के लिए अच्छा होता है। तो गरीब का तेल बहुत महंगा हो गया अचानक से, दुगने तिगने भाव से जा रहा है आजकल वो, गरीब को भी नहीं मिल रहा है वो। और बंद कर रहे हैं। 72 में जब अकाल पड़ा तो हमारे खाने में तेल आना शुरू हो गया, क्योंकि इंदिरा जी थी और अमेरिका से पहली बार हमने देखा कि पाम ऑयल आ गया है। और डिब्बे आते थे 2.5 kg, क्या कहते उसको, दो गैलन के। और एकदम से हमारे खाने में इतना तेल आ गया है कि आज मतलब उसके बाद में इतना सस्ता भी था, वो खा सकते तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं थी। इसलिए हमारे लेडीज एकदम से सुगरण कहते हैं उसे, कि वो एकदम से इतना ज़्यादा तेल डालती है वही सबसे अच्छी खाना बनाती है ऐसे। और पूरा सदियों का बैकलॉग उन्होंने भर के निकाल दिया वो।
Thank you so much. We have some time for questions, so over to you. Please go ahead and ask your questions.
I'll ask one question
Ji.
to the Rituraj.
Oh, privilege, sir.
And that question is for the people. I think that message to be passed whichever way.
जी sir.
What do you think that ghee should minimum cost if it is a right ghee for health, or other ghees are bad for health?
I was asking exactly the same question.
No, I know I've asked a maybe a difficult question,
No, absolutely not.
but people should know.
Yes, this is probably this is what experience speaks about, and this is what an information and a social responsibility speaks out. He takes out a platform like this and he asks the question so that people get informed. Am I correct, sir? Very nice, sir. So ghee, सब लोग people, but there is I shouldn't name a brand. There was an ad. I still have it saved on my Instagram reel just for my reference. So that the man comes on the screen and says, why our A2 ghee is so expensive? And he goes gaga about, okay, desi gai ka doodh is, so the desi indigenous cows breed milk is close to 80 to 100 rupees a liter, and it takes about 25 liters to manufacture 1 liter of ghee, and so it automatically becomes 2500. He's selling at 1800. First of all, he's countering himself. Now, he never takes into account what happens to the leftover buttermilk. Now he says we feed it to the cow. I mean, you're feeding the byproduct that is coming out of the cow to the cow. Why? It can make its own buttermilk from the grass. Why are you feeding it to them? Why don't you sell it? Okay, we are unable to sell it. Process it. Do something about it. It's a very good golden thing that has come out of the cow. Why are you refeeding it? Why are you spoiling it? Repurpose it, repackage it, and market it well. Sell it in the market. Now, I'll break the myth, sir. All these brands collect from the collection centers, जिस पे लगभग 95% भारत टिका हुआ है, the cooperatives. The rate at which the farmer sells to these cooperative would actually blow your mind. It's at 35 rupees to 32 rupees a liter. That is how much our farmers are being exploited. All right. Now these guys collected that rate. Now what happens is, then the collection center comes into action. He has a commission. Then the BMC guy, the bulk milk chiller guy, who has a little bit of money, he puts a bulk milk chiller in the village. He has some commission. Then the transporter has its commission. Then it reaches to the plant. Then they have the commission, and then they have the processing fees. All come down to the milk fat rate, which is decided by the biggest cooperative of India, that is Amul. Everybody follows their footstep, and currently it is 4% fat at 38 rupees. So if you want cow milk, which is categorized under 4%, you'll only have to pay 38 rupees at the farmer's level. Whatever it is commercialized rate in the market, that is all different. Now coming back to the question, how much does it actually cost to make the ghee? Now, if it 38 rupees, let's suppose 38 rupees, 38 into you can do 24, but let's suppose 40, close to $1,000, right? Now this ghee, now you take out the byproduct. So every 25 liter would give you approximately 25 liter of buttermilk because water is also added. So that will give you plus the fat. Now even if it sells at close to 20 rupees a liter the buttermilk, 25, that is again giving you back 500 rupees. So 1000 में से 500 हटा दीजिए, it is come down to 500. Processing मान लीजिए 50 रुपए, 550 रुपए घर पड़ता है. अब कितना भी कोई गणित लगाता रहे, people can say anything that they want to. 550, 600, 650 is absolutely optimal that a ghee company will produce it at. I put in after everything, after GST, transportation, labor cost, I am open to my customer that I sell ghee at 100 rupees a profit. Whatever I manufacture, I just put 100 rupees a liter and I sell it and I say it on your phone, I want 100 rupees. Business is done for money. But don't be unfair to them selling that it is A2 ghee made by Vedic Bilona method and all this gaga thing. Absolutely rigging the customers out of their money in pocket. So the current cost of production of any ghee would range from 500 to not more than 650. Now I will put a I'll put light to that also. I'll put the light down to. Now earlier in this discussion only, I said the milk goes to the plant and goes to two lines. One line, that is cream separator. Now the cream is separated into two things, or the milk is separated into two things. Cream and separator milk, that is skimmed milk. Skimmed milk has a lot of use, sir. Now you can make curd out of it. You can market it as flavored milk. You can make skim milk powder out of it. Now, how Indian government work, how Indian dairy cooperative works is, so there is two periods called, one is abundance period, one is lean period. In the summertime, we have lean period. Cows and buffaloes do not give too much of a milk. That is ranges from April till July, till the rain comes. So what happens in this lean period, in abundance period, they do this. So they separate the cream. They make butter out of it. They store it at minus 20 degrees. They can keep it for 1 year. They have skim milk that goes to a skim milk powder plant. वो आता ना दूध का powder, skim milk powder. So you can store that for another 24 months. So whenever the demand rises, it can come back to a production line, add water to it, and then again make the milk. So on most of the packets you will find homogenized and recomposed milk or reconstituted milk. So that is what it is. So 80% of the market is already doing it. They do not market buttermilk. 500 से 700 के बीच में 700 वाला वो है जो अपनी मैनेजमेंट ठीक नहीं कर पा रहा है. मतलब हाँ, this is the absolutely. So if it is better marketing, if the person is at low level of scale, he would sell it at close to 800 to $1,000, which is good enough.
Thank you so much. I think we've run out of time for your questions, and I'm sure this. So I'm sure all of you agree that this was a very informative session and myth-buster session, and some of you will not disown some of the ghees that you're buying. I'm sure about that too. So thank you. Over to you, Tanu, and everybody can ask more questions in a break session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was most insightful, and I know that I'll definitely corner some of the speakers because I could not ask the questions that I wanted to. And I would encourage all of you to do the same. We'll break for a short coffee. We'll take a short coffee break. Please, as I said, corner the speakers, ask your questions. I've been seeing some of you furiously taking notes. Do come back not later than 3:35 because I lure you in with the promise of a great cheese tasting. The cheese tasting will then lead into the panel on the South Asian Cheese Trail, and we have a fantastic line of speakers there. So take a coffee break, and I'll see you in another 20 minutes. Thank you.